Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Elle here. So I know I'm looking a little bit different today. You're like, Ellen, what's gone off with your makeup? Like, what has happened there? But we're now in October, so of course we're doing all of our Halloween looks, which is exciting. So I've probably mentioned already on my channel that I am doing the 31 days of Halloween makeup on my Instagram. So that's gonna be a lot, 31 Halloween looks. We're going to try and do it, but I thought, obviously, I think I've got like 8 videos to do throughout October. I was like, I might as well do those videos being like Halloween themed as well and do tutorials, like 8 tutorials on 8 of the 31 days of Halloween makeup looks that I was doing. So, number 1, day 1, well this is not day 1, this is technically day 3 on Instagram, but day 1 on YouTube. No, it's not day 3 on Instagram, it's going to be day 4, it's going to be day 4. This is my 4th look on my Instagram page. What am I talking about? Anyways, but today I went with a nice glam vampire look. So if you want to see how I created this look, keep on watching. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. If you do like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. That would mean the absolute world. But yeah, I am going to get straight on into the video. So if you want to see how I created this look, keep on watching, and if you do recreate it, make sure you tag me in it on Instagram. But yeah, enjoy guys. Okay guys, so I've already done my brows and primed my eyes off of camera. For my brows today, I actually did fill them in. Obviously usually I just go through them with my MAC False Lash Maximizer and make them like really fluffy. But I was like, you know, it's a bit of a Halloweeny look. I mean, they're still like pretty natural, but I was like, I'll just fill them in for once. So I just used the XX Revolution faux brow pencil, if that's what it's called, and a MAC False Lash Maximizer, and of course my base is the P. Louise base in the shade number 2. Like, look how much this is like. This has still got some left in it as well. Like, I've just been squeezing the last bits out before I move on to my other one. But yeah, so let's just move straight on to the eyeshadow. So I will be using the Be Perfect Stationery Carnival Love Tahiti palette because this is my baby. So let's just jump straight on into it. So I'm going to start off with the shade Chili Pepper, which is right down here. It's a lovely deep red shade, and I'm going to use a Zoeva 234 brush, which is a flat shader brush, just to get this all over the lid. So I'm literally just going to start by pressing this all over the eyelid and get that packed on. By the way guys, if I sound like nasally in this video, I am really sorry. I do have, oh gosh, Oscar's barking. I do have a bit of a cold. It's not COVID. I got tested and the test came back negative, so it's not COVID, but I do have a bit of a cold, so I sound really nasally, so I'm sorry. Okay, next up I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the shade Cocoa, and I'm going to be using a 231 brush, also from Zoeva. It's a nice chunky pencil brush, and I'm just going to start to put this in the crease. We've got something to blend our eyeshadow out with. Next I'm going to go in with this shade down here, which is called Ginger, and I'm going to be using a Morphe, what is this? It's an M573 brush, so I'm just going to use this brush just to apply that and just to get that nice and blended out. See, we have gone nice and red, just because, I don't know, I think it'll just look nice as like a nice vampy looking eye. And then I'm just going to go back in with the shades we've already put down, and I'm just going to re-intensify them slightly. So I'm just going to go back in with Cocoa, and then I'll go back in with Chili Pepper. So this is where I now want to start making this a lot darker, a lot smokier. So I'm going to take the shade Black Beach, which is just the black in the palette, just a nice matte black. And I'm going to take a Zoeva 230 brush, which is a really petite pencil brush. And I'm going to start running this on the lash line, just so we can get that blending into the lid shade, into Chili Pepper, and start to really darken this up and make it nice and smoky. So I'm just running this over my lash line. I'm not necessarily being neat about it because we'll be blending it all. So instead of, the reason I'm not necessarily being neat with this is whereas I would usually do that smoky liner and it's like a definite liner, this is literally just gonna fade right into the lid shade. Which is why I'm not too fussed about it being mega neat at the minute. Obviously I've started off by just packing the black shade on there, like I said, not necessarily being neat. Now there's less on my brush, I'm just going to start blending it up into the lid shade. And then I'm just going to take the brush that we were using chili pepper on and just start to go over that. This will just help with the blending process of blending that black into the lid shade. Okay, so the eyes, I mean the top of the eyes at least, are pretty much done. I'm going to put on some lashes. I'll do that off camera. So I'm going to go in with the Tatty Lashes, I can't talk, the Tatty Lashes in the style Bitch Is Back. These are what they look like, so they're the ones that I'll be putting on today. So I'm going to go do that off of camera and then I'm going to come back, I'll do my skin and I'll finish up underneath the eye because that's where we're going to make it nice and vampy. Be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I've popped on my lashes, so I'm going to go on to skin now before we do underneath the eye. So I'm going to start off with primer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury is it Wonder Glow? Yeah, it's Wonder Glow primer, which I absolutely love. I always get this and then the foundation mixed up, so the foundation is called that, well, the foundation that I've got from them is called Light Wonder, and I always get the names mixed up for some reason. It just gives it such a nice glow, because even though we're a vampire who said we can't be glowing, like, I refuse to believe that we can't look hot as a vampire. Like, have you seen the vampires in Vampire Diaries? They look amazing, so doesn't mean we've got to look mega scary. So for foundation, I'm going to mix two together as always just to get the right shade, but this is like a combination that I just did the other day, sort of like not like accidentally, but accidentally, if that makes sense. Like, I was just doing a makeup look purely to take a picture and post it on Instagram. Like, I wasn't going to be wearing the makeup look for a long time, so I didn't really care about the foundation as such. It was just a case of just getting something that was the right colour just for the photo, and I mixed these two together and I actually really liked them. So it was the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation and the MAC Water Weight foundation, and I actually ended up really liking it. So we're going to do it again, and I'm just going to dot this all over my face. And then as always for foundation, I'm going to be blending that out with the Peaches and Cream PC19 brush. So I'm just going to start bouncing this all over the skin as I usually would. I mean, this vampire makeup for the most part is just normal makeup, let's be honest. I'll get to the vampy part, don't worry. Part of me's like, I really wish I'd have bought some fake fangs for this look. That would have been funny, but I didn't, because like, I didn't think until I literally sat down filming. Like, as I've been doing my eye makeup, I was just thinking to myself like, oh, it would have been good if I'd have bought some fangs. It's a bit late for that now, Ellen. So it's now time for concealer, and I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, just because I'm absolutely loving this at the moment. It is a very light shade though, I will say, but I can make it work, it's alright. I think when I run out of this, I'll get a different shade. It was just, when I bought it, it wasn't long after like the shops had just opened up again, and obviously like you can't test anything out at the moment in stores. Like, you can't test any products out, so I just had to guess from the way it looked, and it's probably like a bit too light, but I couldn't tell properly, so we'll deal with it. I use it quite often and it seems to work, so it's alright. Sorry, I'm blending this out with the Peaches and Cream PC27 brush. Blend that out underneath the eye as well. Now, when I said this is pretty much normal makeup so far, like it is, we're not going to do, what I'm going to do with the skin is probably normal to some people, but it's not normal to me. Like, usually I'd be like, lots of blusher, bring in the rosy cheeks, blah, blah, blah. And even though I don't necessarily want to make myself actually look dead, like I want to be like a nice glam vampire, I'm like thinking like Catherine Pierce kind of vibes. Obviously I don't want to be like mega bronzy and rosy cheeks either, you know? I'm just going to go and set all of this now, and I'm just going to use the MAC Water Weight powder and a Peaches and Cream PC04 brush, which is what I always use just to set my foundation. By the way, did anyone else ever watch Vampire Diaries? Because number one, I'm obsessed with it. I've rewatched it so many times. Actually, talking about this, I saw something the other day. Don't know how true or accurate it was, but I'll just say what it said. And it basically said like, people with anxiety tend to rewatch like TV shows and films just because it's sort of that sense of like you already know what's going to happen, so you've not got like that build up of anxiety, like oh my god, what's going to happen, that kind of thing. And I was like, I feel personally attacked right now, because I always rewatch shows and films. Like, I know not many people can do that. Most people are like, they've seen it once, that's it. But I pretty much rewatch things all the time. Like, I've seen Vampire Diaries I don't know how many times, Pretty Little Liars and Gossip Girl, I always rewatch those. Like, but yeah. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with the MAC Biana bronzer and a MAC 135 brush as always. The reason I'm going with this one is it's just not as bronzy. It's not as warm toned, that's what I meant to say then, sorry. It's not as warm toned as the one I usually use, so that's why I'm going with this one today. So we're just going to go right in the cheekbones, under the cheekbone should I say, not on, as I always would, just bronze up the skin. But like I said, I'm going with, I mean, it's not like mega cool tone, it's still got some warmth to it, but I just don't want to go as warm as I usually would with my bronzer today. And yes, I've got really bad skin in this, on this side of my face. I've got loads of spots at the minute. Not cute, guys, not cute. I went off on a tangent again because I was on about that thing I saw about rewatching things and anxiety. What I meant to say was, if anyone here has watched The Vampire Diaries, are you guys like me? So do you know like the characters that you're supposed to like hate, like the evil ones, and you kind of like really like them? Like, don't get me wrong, Catherine Pierce, she was awful. I didn't really like her, but at the same time I absolutely loved her. Like, I loved the character, but at the same time I also was like, oh my god, she's awful. Do you get what I'm saying? She was like, I mean, come on, she was pretty badass, wasn't she? Let's be honest. And Klaus as well, like, I don't care what anyone says about Klaus, I don't care how evil they try and make him out to be, I absolutely loved Klaus. He was one of my faves. Genuinely one of my favourite characters, and it still, to this day, annoys me that him and Caroline did not get it on. Okay, so like I said, I don't want anything too like rosy on my cheeks. I'm not going to do blush today, just the bronzer, and then I'm going to go in with highlighter, which is the Be Perfect Get Wet highlighter in the shade Soft Silk, and I'm just applying this with a Peaches and Cream PC28 brush. So just get this right on those cheekbones, just get it glowing. Because yes, we're a vampire, but we can still glow. Vampires know how to do makeup, right? I always find it so funny because there's so many different things. Whenever I film, there's always a siren that goes past. There's so many different TV shows and films and stuff that have like vampires in, and obviously they're all different, like they all have their different things. Like obviously the original like myths of like they hate garlic or whatever, and like you can't see them in a mirror and stuff like that. And then there's like the Vampire Diaries where it's like, what is it, vervain that is poisonous to them and all stuff like that. And there's like so many different versions of like vampires and stuff like that, and I don't know, I just find it really interesting. I find it like kind of funny, and I feel like everyone has their own like favourite, if that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain what I mean, but I know what I'm trying to say. Right, skin done. Let's finish off this under eye. So I'm going to take this 226 brush from Zoeva. It's just a really tiny smudger brush, and I'm going to take the shade we used to start off with, which was Chili Pepper. Before I do this, actually, I'm going to go in the waterline with Feline from MAC, which is just a black pencil liner. Okay, sorry, there we go. So I've got my black pencil liner, and then I'm going to take that brush with Chili Pepper. I'm going to smudge this on the lower lash line. And I'm just going to take the same brush, and I've just picked up some of the black from the palette. I'm just now going to run that along the lower lash line as well. So that's what we're working with so far. Obviously you could leave it at that. You could just throw on some mascara and a lip and you'd actually just look like you've got a really nice dark burgundy smoky eye. But of course we're doing like a vampire look, aren't we? I'm going to take the 231 brush from Zoeva, the like larger chunkier pencil brush, and some of chili pepper, and I'm just going to start blending this underneath the eye, but like taking it quite far down, like making it like quite dramatic, you know. Obviously you do want like a nice fade on it. I don't want it to be like proper bright red all over. I want it to sort of fade down. You get what I'm saying though, you know what I mean. So I'm sort of just picking up a little bit of the shadow at a time, and I'm just sort of patting this on. Okay, I've just then taken a completely clean brush just to blend that all out a bit, so we've not got like any mega harsh lines or anything. So this is the stage we are currently at. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add little veins underneath the eye. So I'm just going to take an eyeliner brush. This is my 210 from MAC, and I'm going to start off with chili pepper because I want to get some red veins in there first, and then I'll go in with black just to deepen things up. So starting off with chili pepper, just coat the brush. You could obviously use some sort of eyeliner for this instead, but I'm going to do it with eyeshadow, and you're just going to draw little veins on, so like just little squiggly lines, I guess. This is very The Vampire Diaries inspired, I guess. This is like the eyes they kind of have when they go like all vampy, you know? And you want them to be darker in some areas and sort of fade, because that is a bit more realistic, let's say. So yeah, I'm not going to do too much black, I'm just going to do a little bit of it. Just to sort of deepen them up slightly. You don't want to go like over all of them in black, if that makes sense, so it wouldn't look as effective. So just some of them. So for lips, what I'm going to do, you could, oh my god, I'm knocking brushes everywhere. So you could just do a really nice deep lip if you wanted to. Just like a nice deep, whether it be red, purple, whatever kind of lip, and it just look amazing. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to do something a little bit different, because when there's eyeliner everywhere. Ellen, what are you doing? When I worked for MAC, when I had like my MAC basic training, this is where I've first sort of seen this kind of lip done. One of the trainers was showing us something she'd done like for makeup in one of the fashion shows, and it was like, she called it like the Snogged Lip, and I just thought it looked absolutely stunning. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start off with this lipstick from MAC, which is called Hot Like. I think it was from a collection, but I don't know which, and it's just a nice bright red. And I'm going to take a MAC 224 brush. I'm just going to get some of this on the brush, and I'm just going to start blending it around the lip. Yeah, taking it above the lip. So this is where it's looking like at the moment. Now it looks a bit crazy, don't worry. It's gonna look cool in the end. I couldn't talk then. It's gonna look cool in the end, don't worry. So I tend to just blend this around the edges of the lips. Of course, you could have just done a nice bold really neat lip and added a bit of fake blood, but I thought I'd do something different. If you're wondering why she called it a snogged lip, by the way, it's because it looks like you've just had red lipstick on and you've been kissing someone. That's why she called it a snogged lip, if it wasn't obvious. So now that I've done that, I'm now going to go in with a lip pencil and a lipstick on my actual lips. So for lip pencil, I'm going to use Night Moth from MAC, which is a really deep purple. Okay, so now I've got the lip pencil on. I feel like I look a little bit crazy at the minute. I'm going to go in with lipstick and I'm going to use Studded Kiss, which is also from MAC. My doggo's here. So I'm next going to take some clear gloss. I'm just using the one from MAC. I've just put a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to dab it around. I kind of want it to be on this smudgy part, if that makes sense. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Don't know about you, but I'm kind of loving it because it's still a little bit glam, but obviously it's more on the Halloweeny, vampy, a little bit creepy kind of side. You get what I'm saying? You get me? I feel like for me personally, like obviously like I said, you could just do like a nice neat bold lip, but I just think this kind of lip just sort of makes it, sets it off a little bit more. Like I said, you could just do a nice neat bold lip and just add a little bit of fake blood if you wanted. You could add fake blood to this, but I'm going to leave it like this because I kind of love it. Catherine Pierce, eat your heart out. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this look and what you thought of this tutorial. Throughout October, I will hopefully be doing more Halloween makeup tutorials. Because basically, I'm doing the 31 days of Halloween makeup on Instagram. So for my YouTube videos throughout October, I thought I would do a tutorial on some of those looks. So obviously this is one of my 31 days of Halloween makeup looks, so that's what I'm going to try and do. Like, so I think that would be 8 videos, I think. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's like 8. I'm sure throughout of October there'll be 8 YouTube videos, which means 8 Halloween YouTube tutorials. And this is the first. Something super easy in my opinion. Like, I think this is really, really easy. It's almost like normal makeup and then you've just chucked on some like little veins and this situation. So it's really, really simple, really, really easy, but I think it's really, really effective. I don't know if anyone is actually going out for Halloween with the whole COVID thing, but even if you're just having a Halloween party at your house, obviously no more than 6 people, you get me. But yeah, whatever you're doing at this Halloween, whether you're gonna stay in and watch scary films or other Halloween films or Disney films if you're like me and you don't like scary films, or if you're actually gonna like go to the pub up until 10 o'clock or celebrate at a friend's house, whatever the situation is, you can still look glam and creepy at the same time, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, let me know in the comment section down below and let me know if there's any like specific Halloween makeup tutorials you would like to see on my channel. But that is all from me today. So like I said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you in the next one. Bye.